Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold. We're going to try and finish up this shoe by putting on all the details for it. The first thing I'm going to do is just a little bit of it. I mean, we can move things around in here and alter it to all different kinds of ways, really. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this surface here and I'm just going to drop it down just a little. So that we have a little bit more definition here. Kind of shows up a little bit more, right? Let's go to that render view and get rid of all of my materials that I got out there. Get rid of that. Just delete them all. We want it all white just to get a good look at everything. And then I'll close that out. All right, so there, we just so we can have a little bit more detail. We have our detail right around in here, and then our back, and then our sole, right? So let's go ahead and get going on this. So that's basically all the manipulation I'm going to do. Actually, you could take these two and then bump them up a little bit. There's a lot you could pull this out or in or whatever, but I wouldn't mess with that side too much. But this front part is really no big deal. But that's kind of more what it looks like. It's down kind of inside it, right? So that's what we'll do there. So the first thing we need to do is figure out our holes, right? So for our shoestring. That's the first thing we'll do. And then we'll do a little bit of stitching just to give it a little extra look. These are things that you can or don't have to do. It's totally up to you. But I wanted to get them out there for the shoe. So the first thing we'll do is we'll just go to we'll go out and we will just delete our shoe or full save it. We'll just go ahead and save it and then get out, and then we'll just go get a whole new viewports, whole new starting, because the reason being is because there was a lot of things saved here, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to draw that hole out so that we can use object on curve to put it in. And when we save it, it'll take all that hidden stuff and put it out there, save it into our object on curve file for that thing. And then when we go to put it up on our curve, all those lines and everything would show up. So it's best to have just a totally clean thing when you're trying to save an object on curve in your library. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to make that hole real quick. And then I'll just grab me a circle and I'll start at F4 and change it to yellow. And we'll just make something out here like this. I'll right click, bring it back, F4, and kind of offset a little bit. Now you can make, you can really get elaborate on your hole however you want it. I'm just going to do something basic. You can have it kind of different shape or whatever. It doesn't have to be just totally circle or whatever. And then I'm just going to drag it down just slightly. And then I'm going to go to my surface, blend. And then I'm going to select this surface and then hit enter. And then what I'm going to do here is that's maybe a little too high, I think. So what we're going to do is flatten it out, but we're still going to give it a little dome, but not a lot. So I locked it and I just dragged them both down. You can switch to tangency, whatever you want. Actually, tangency may be a little bit better. Or you could have tangency curvature. It's totally up to you. You can define your shape however you want. I'm just going to hit OK. I'm going to go ahead and grab those two curves and just delete them because we don't want those being pulled up with our item. And then I'm going to join that together, and then I'm going to CAP it. So we should have a solid surface. Let's check, close poly surface, so we're good to go. So now all you have to do is select your item, go to your big M for MG, and then go to save as, and then complete command, and then go to wherever your file saved at. Files saved, mine's in documents, library, object on curve, and then type in your number or the name of it, shoe hole or whatever, and then hit save, right? I already have one in there, so I'm just going to move on. But that's how you do it. But if you have anything else out there, it'll load it into that save file, and it'll come up whenever you do it. So before we go any further, let's just make sure that it's there. So I'll just draw a line out, select my line, go to solids, go to object on curve, go to my library, and I have one here and I have one here, shoe hole, right? So they're saved. Okay, so cancel out of that, cancel, okay, and then just escape and then delete all that. Okay, and then we'll just bring back our shoe again and hit no. Don't want to save any of that. And now we have our object back out here where it's dragged down, right? Okay, so now we need to get a curve. So we need to go to our curves menu, go to from object, dupe edge, and we'll just take this edge right here and dupe it. If you try to extract an ISO curve, it'll just be a straight line, so it really doesn't work, right? After we select our dupe our curve, though, we'll need to go back to well, offset curve on surface, and then I'm going to select my surface, the offset, which is this one, and it's going in the right direction, and I'll hit enter, and then okay, select base curve, that's this one. So, base surface, sorry, enter, and then I'm going to hit through point, and I'm just going to pick a location, maybe right here, and take a look. That's way too far out. Let's back out of that, back out, and let's do that again. All right, so I'll right click, select our curve, that'll be this one, base surface, this one, going in the right direction, through point, and I want it right there, and hit enter. Okay, and I'll just take this one and get rid of it. All right, so we should be set up for object on curve. So let's select that curve, and let's go to our solids and grab our shoe hole, lace hole, or whatever it is. I'm not sure what it's called. And I'm just going to take this one here, double click on it, get out of it, and then I'm going to target object will be that surface, and then I'm just going to drag it around, being careful not to flip it way off there real quick, and then I'll go to kind of all viewports so I can kind of keep an eye on it. And what we need to do is line those up and size them and everything, right? So let's start with size. Let's get our size down, and let's get our location down, maybe right in there, depending on how many holes you want. And actually I think I'm going to pick quite not that many, because it's just a demonstration. So let's drag those out so that there's not that many holes there. Yeah, that looks okay. And then I want to try and get them lined up, because they're usually, I don't want to roll it. What's that all about? And we'll take this one, and I did something when I rolled it, I messed something up, so I'm just going to back out of that real quick and just redo it. So select this, right click, target surface, this object, this, and now let's drag those around and be a little bit more careful this time. So we'll put this one right around in here. We'll drag this one down to right in here for right now. Let's get that size together. So am I on my size there? And then make them smaller. We don't want them too big. And then, like I said, I'm not going to put too many on there. So, oh, I had it. Yeah, that looks okay. I'll just put a couple on there just to show, and then that way it'll be easier. And then I will hit I guess I shouldn't be that picky. It's just for demonstration. But okay, so I'll hit enter from there. So now we have those items out there, right? And that looks okay. So I have one here, one here, one here, one here, one here. Okay. All right. Then I'll take my whole object and I will just go ahead and hide it, and we'll do what we did in the last video. Bring back this. Let's get rid of that. And we want to select these and hit enter. So it just keeps those out there. Then we want to ungroup them and select that one and delete it, and then select them all and group them back together again, because it's much better, easier for us to kind of do things. And let's see, we might have to ungroup them to get the, so let's go to extract iso curve, make sure we're on a different color layer, and we'll just, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so we'll have to select them. We'll have to ungroup them for now in order to be able to extract those iso curves. And then we'll get an iso curve. We'll pick this surface here, hit enter. Our yellow's turned off. Let's turn on yellow. And we just need to go around and do this kind of in the center there. It doesn't have to be perfect because they're going to be closed off and attached anyway, right? So we'll take that. Go in here, enter. 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 That one we already did. This one we did not. Right click, enter, enter. Right click. Grab that thing. Enter. That one's done. Enter. Okay, so we have all that out there, right? All right. So now, let's see. All right, so we have this. Now there's several ways you can do it. Let's see. Up here at the top, since there's that little up bump there, you might have to do it a little bit differently. So we'll kind of show, depending on how it goes, we'll see what we need. So let's just keep these out here, and let's just go to our surface, and let's just do profile sweep from this one here to this one here. Okay, and we'll now. Should have your shoe out here. It depends on what you're going to do with it. If this is just for show and you're not printing it, it doesn't really have to touch, right? But if oh, I didn't hit enter. Okay. But if you're wanting, if it's just for show, they don't really have to touch. But if you're wanting to print, you probably want that bottom edge to be touching so it'll print okay. And let's turn on this and select that and then go back. And so like right now, if you look at it, it's not really touching, right? So, you know, this is great for just showing, but for printing, you know, you would have to put a support in there, and that would, well, I guess if you printed it from side, it may not be, may be okay. If you put it on the shoe on the side and printed it up this way, so it would print like this, it would probably be okay. But if you're wanting, you know, to print it where it's flat, you might want to just bring those down so they're actually in the surface to print it. So I'll leave that up to you as far as whichever way is best for yourself. But we'll keep moving on. I'll just take that there, and then we're just going to go around and not that. Right click, control. We want right click this one and this one, and kind of keep going back and forth and getting it to where you think it's okay for your project. Okay, I'm not going to go ahead and take the time to do all this. And actually, I might cut some of this up. But that's all you do is you keep going around. But actually, I better keep going on because up here we'll have different issue and we'll have to probably do it a different way. So let's go ahead and take that. And let's turn here, right click, bring it back. We'll go from here over to here and then turn it back on. And get our shoelaces going. And maybe you want this one a little bit lower than that one, which is fine. So it kind of looks like it's going underneath, right? And then keep on working your way up. Right click, first profile. Second profile, bring back our object, kind of get a look here, see what we got going on. And then drag that down into our surface. Not that far. Drag this one down. Okay. So it's something like that. And if you notice your surface getting a little hinky, a little crazy, you can just hit this and adjust seam, and then you can kind of move it around to where it looks a little bit better. So keep an eye on your surface, and then hit enter. Let's go ahead and right click, bring back the command, select that profile, and let's take this profile, turn it back on. It's kind of a little tedious work. Trying to find the best angle to get a view on it. Oh, a little too deep. My surface is a little hinky or a little crazy there, so let's go ahead and turn that on. And actually it looks much better just doing that. Okay, so we'll hit enter and keep working. We only got a couple more to go. These will maybe be a little bit issues, so let's find out. Right click, take that one to this one here, I think. This one, and let's get some, oh, not so bad. All right, so let's drag this one down in, and let's drag this one down in. And my surface looks like it's getting a little crazy. So again, just click off that, and actually right away, as soon as you click off it, it looks pretty decent, so that's cool. All right, and we'll just keep moving on, and right click, bring back the profile sweep, and turn it back on so we can get a good look. Let's kind of switch it around here. And we'll drag that one down a little bit, and well, they're kind of real close there, so we'll drag this one down a little. And my surface is a little crazy. Let's go ahead and do some adjusting there, something like that perhaps, and hit enter. And our last one, this one's going to be, because it's got more drastic area right there, right? You can see we got a nice little look going on. That'll probably print out pretty good because they're all down into the item. So let's go ahead and do this one more time. Right click, profile. Let's hope this one works and we don't have to do it any other way. And let's put that on. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Now this one, maybe if we drag it up, yeah, see, this one, if you take it down to where it's touching, well, let's see what it looks like without the, that's not too bad. This will print out fine and it'll give us the look. So we could leave it like that, or you could just draw a little arc out there, go from center to center with orient to 2 points, and then do a profile sweep, which would work too. It maybe take a little bit more adjustment, but let's go ahead and take this. Looks okay. Yeah. Is it going back on itself? Yeah, okay, maybe we should do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do it. All right, so from my front view, what I'm going to do is go to my curve and then just grab a arc direction somewhere right there. Arc direction, and then I'm going to hold down shift, click one point, hold down shift, and then drag a little arc up, something like that. And what we're going to do now is these two top points are the ones we want. So what is the easiest way? Oh, does that one even have a, oh, that one doesn't even have a extract ISO curve on it. It doesn't look like. So let's get that ISO curve out there first. Extract ISO curve from this surface and drag it to there, and then hit enter. All right, so we have the ISO curves on both. All right. All right, so what we'll do is we'll do a, and then we have them down here, right? Let's turn off all green. Well, no, don't need green. Let's turn on more. Yeah, okay, we got that one, and we got that one. All right. So let's go to transform, orient, 2 points, select our curve, hit enter. Oh, it's just got the sitter. We want end snap, end to end, and now we want to turn end, mid, and anything else off, just our center, right? And then we'll go in here, and there's our center, right? It's going to our center, and then we want to drag it up here to our center of this one, which is right there. All right, and then we want to do the same thing here to this one here. All right, and get rid of all that. All right, and then we'll turn on our, and we have this out there, and the arc is not real good direction, right? So we can go to our points, select objects for control points. This one we'll just do one at a time, be easier, and then we'll just grab those points there. And let's see, maybe we can switch this to object, which will give us a little bit better control. So let's try. Let's go to object. Yeah, there we go. And then we can drag it. Oh, I grabbed one too many points there. Okay, we want just those 3 top ones. So I'm going to grab it again. And then I'm going to grab it over so that it kind of gives us a little bit better look at it. And then I'm going to take this point and this point, hold down shift and drag them out so we get something like that, right? And then just drag this. Oh, I didn't grab that point. Let's go back. Okay. Oh, let's go back this one. There we go. We want this point and those. We want those 3 points, and we're just going to drag it down a little. All right, something like that. And let's just see. We'll leave those points on in case we need them. And we'll do surface 1. This will be our ring rail. This will be our first one. This will be our second one, and we'll hit enter, and we'll turn on our viewports or shading. And now it's just getting it to where you want it, right? We can now, since we got these points on, we can manipulate these points. So let's go ahead and hit enter here. My surface is a little jacked up. So we'll need to go into curves. Maybe that'll mess up our other points though. And we'll do a check that seam. And let's switch it over to the other side here. Let's turn off this. See what that does. Yeah, it moved that one here. There, fix that one, but jack that one. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to get rid of this surface, and I'm going to go in here, and my record history is off, so we should be okay. And then I'm going to select that curve there, duplicate it in place, and I'm going to turn it to red. All right. So now we should have 2 in there, right? So the yellow one for right now, I'm just going to hide it. Where'd my red one go? Yellow curve. Oh, red's off. Okay. So turn on red so we can make sure it's out there. Take that yellow one and we'll just hide it. Okay, so the red to yellow. Now we'll do that sweep again. Surface 1. That's our ring rail or our rail. And there, and hit enter. And let's see. Turn on this. All right, and again, it's jacked. So let's go ahead and hit enter. Go in here and we'll grab that, what was it? Curve seam, and we'll grab the red one this time, and we'll hit enter, and we'll flip it over to the other side and hit enter, and it changed my, why did it change that? All right, let's take a look here. Yeah, it did it again. We'll just redo that one once we get it, get this one taken care of. But that one looks better. Let's go ahead and take this point and move him a little. Let's move him a little this way. Wonder why it's doing that. Okay, so let's take this curve, this one in the middle, and this one, and drag them down. And let's take this one and drag him down. And then I lost that for some reason. So let's go over here. Let's see if I can get it back. That helped that. Let's go in the center there, grab that one, and let's drag that one down. What's going on here? Let's get rid of that. Did I put a kink in it? Is that what happened? Okay, so let's just take it and let's rebuild it. Yeah, that's okay. All right, now let's go ahead and got rid of that. It put a kink in it when I moved that one, so that's probably what caused that. So let's go ahead. No, we don't want to do that again. We're fine with this one. Let's do that surface sweep one more time. 1, 2, 3, enter, get a look-see. And again, it looks a little strange there. Let's go ahead and enter. Let's see if we can do a little manipulation here. There we go. Looking better. There we go. And we'll probably have to do that to this one here. Gives it more. There we go. All right. Oh, now I got to draw that one. So let's take that one, this one, and this one, and see if we can drag those down in there. All right. We'll drag that one. Let's drag both of them. How's that? There we go. And we'll just go ahead and take that. And actually, you could probably just grab that and bump it down a little or something like that. Get it in shape that way, but this one looks okay. It's this one here that worries me. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. All right. So let's see if we can do this with this one now. So let's see. All right, let's grab that. Let's first get rid of all those other points, and let's put on points on this one. And the first thing we want to do is make sure that we always grab those three. And let's grab this curve and kind of get him up in place so we get a nice rounded, smooth surface. And then let's go ahead and take this one, and we'll take this one, and we already know from the last one we're going to have to bump them out quite a bit, something like that. So let's go ahead and do this sweep, see what it looks like. Take this one here to this one over here, hit enter. Oh, it went the other direction. Do I ever flip? It's on. Oh, what happened there? Oh, it's going way. Oh, cool. All right. No, we don't want that. So let's one more time. I must have had something else selected. Surface 1. This rail. This one. This one. There we go. All right, so again, we're not going to mess with that one because we already know that we mess with it, it'll jack it up. So we're going to mess with this one here. We'll hit enter, and then we'll just take this curve and see if our curve seam's in there. And let's just go ahead and flip it over to this side and hit enter and see what it looks like. No, that made it worse. Let's turn it back on. Let's bring it around. Still a little jacked up. Let's turn it on again. Doesn't want to go around there. That's worse. Maybe that's because if we take it here and then we flip it to our other side, if I can find out how to get it. Why can't I flip the curve? What's going on? I know I'm going to have to flip this one. There's our issue. It's not even... Come on. All right, now let's go back to... Did it mess with my other one? Yeah, it did. We can fix that probably, no problem. Let's go back to here. And let's... Come on, give it to me. Oh, there it was. I had it. Ah! I don't think that'll work. Yeah, I didn't think so. Let's flip it. Oh, come on. There we go. Yay! All right, so now let's go ahead and take that one, the one in the center, so we don't make that kink, and then just drag it all down and take this one here, hold down shift, bring them in a little, see what that does. Jacks it all up. Let's bring them back out. Oh, that looks okay. Yeah. If we take just the two and drag them down, it'll blow our item there, right? So, but if we take one, it'll put a kink in it, right? So we don't want that. We have it. I thought we had it. Let's go back one more. There we go. All right. So let's take this one, and drag them out a little bit more, and then grab our one in the middle there too. There, and there, so we don't put that kink back in there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, so there's that. Now we just have to deal with these two that we jacked up by doing those two, but it shouldn't be as difficult. So let's go ahead, get rid of those points. Let's turn on, and let's go back to here, and we'll take this one here, and I think it was this one here, and let's turn on this, and it's much easier, right? And then we'll just kind of swing it around, and we want to drag it up, right? And let's see if we can work this surface out. Oh, had it. That might be okay. Let's take this one, drag that down a little. Take this one, maybe drag it up just a little. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll hit enter. And then let's just go, keep on going. Sorry it's taking so long, guys. You can zoom past this if it's boring you, but it's actually good to see these problems, my personal opinion. And this one looks pretty good as is. Yeah. All right, and we'll just take that one. All right, we got our shoestrings in there. And what do we do right away is go ahead and job bag it. We don't want to do that again. And we'll just go ahead, take this curve and switch it to gray. All right, so there's our, and then what you can do is, if you want to, is you can draw a little line out here and have it coming over and put a shoestring there too. But if it's going to be something you're printing, you probably don't want that shoestring hanging down unless it's kind of like laying in half into your shoe or something like that. So we're just going to leave it like this, but that part's pretty easy. Now the last thing we need to do for let's take all this red, and I'm going to turn that to gray. And actually, let's find out everything, because there's not really anything out here I think we need anymore. So I'm going to take all my yellow, turn it to gray, so we just have our surfaces out here now. All right, so we've got this. Now we want to do a little bit extra more, give it a little bit more spice, and we want to put some stitching in there, okay? So again, since we saved it, and again, I'm just going to go ahead and save it one more time, just for, because cautious, and then grab a new window again. Okay. And the reason being is because anything that's in our colored menu or anything, it will be flowed up there. So what we want to do now is go to our curves, go to our rectangle, and what we want to do is put out a little rectangle here, just a little small thing, something like that. And then maybe a little bit thinner than that, actually. So we'll go and grab our point there, and just something like that. That long, maybe not that long. We want small stitching. And then we'll take that, and first thing I'm going to do is rotate it 90 degrees. So it's like that. And then I'm going to just hold down. Oh, okay, it's to the object. So let's change that back to center. There we go. And let's go ahead and duplicate that, holding down Alt and just dragging it over with a little bit of gap there, right? Yeah. Actually, we need to manipulate this a little bit more. We need it something like this. Okay. And then I'm going to get rid of this one. I did it wrong. We need the stitching, so we need to do one at a time first. We need to get the solid. So I'm going to hold down Alt, and I'm going to drag it down to about here. And then I'm going to take those two again, and then give them a little surface, not much. So we have, ooh, that's a lot of surface. And then basically I'm going to do a blend again from this surface here to this. Oh, okay. Let's back out of that. We want it from the extrusion to the extrusion. First edge. Huh. Okay, so I'm going to take those points and I'm just going to delete them. And then I'm going to go to my blend and select here. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go to blend and then chain edges. And enter. What? Oh, no, sorry. Profile sweep. Bring back the cancel. We want those curves back. We went out of this cancel. Okay, we want those curves back. There we go. Okay, let's take those curves and we want to change them to yellow. And then we want to do a profile sweep from here to here. Okay, and then we need to do some manipulation here. Where's my handles? Okay, so it's not giving my handles. So let's back out of that real quick. Let's get rid of these because we don't need those surfaces. And let's just select this one and move it a little bit further away. Maybe that's why. And take here, here. Where's my handles? Oh, there they are, way up there. All right, so we want to drag this up, and we want to drag this one up. So this is a 0.7, that is a 0.7, and that looks okay. Yeah. All right. So we'll go ahead and hit enter. And then we will get rid of those curves. Hide them. And we'll take this, shade it. And then we'll take this and duplicate it by holding down Alt, dragging it over, giving a little space there. Something like that. Maybe a little too much. Let's drag it back a little. Something like that. Let's take both those. Go to center, enter. So they're centered. We don't have anything out here except for these, I hope. Oh, see, that would have showed up. Got to get rid of those. Let's put that on. Okay, so that should be okay. And what we'll do is we'll take those, we'll go to our objects, save as, and we're already in here. So I'll just put stitch, S-T-I-C-H. I think I already have one. Oh, I didn't put the C in there. And then we'll just get rid of those and get a new menu or a new ports out here. And we will bring back our shoe. I should have checked to make sure that they were there. So let's go to our line. Draw a line out here real quick just to make sure. Go to our solids, objects on curve. Select objects on curve, select curve, enter. And where's our stitch? Right there. Okay, so it's there. Maybe. Yeah, okay. So we'll back out of that, delete it, and we'll now find out where we want our stitch. Here or on here. So we already have this curve out here, right? No, it's gone. Okay, so we'll do it on the inside here. So what we're going to do is make sure we don't have any. Okay. Uh, all right. All right, so let's grab, go to our curves, go to dupe edge again, dupe edge, and that'll be this edge right here. Go ahead, and then we want to offset that again. Hit enter, offset, surface, and then we want to offset it, select our surface right here. Offset through point, let's just pick through point, and we just want a little bit of offset. Right, and then hit enter. So that'll be it, and it goes all the way around. Go to our curve, solids, objects on curve. We got our balls out here, so let's and then stitching, select, and let's see, let's drag this down a little so we can kind of get a look. Let's drag this on around. Be careful not to fly it off there. And now we need to rotate that. So we got to find our rotate command. Something like that. And our size is the first thing we want to mess around with. And its stitching is usually pretty small, right? And come over here in our dynamic commands. Target object here. So it should set everything up okay. And then spin those around to... they go with that curve, right? So now we have some stitching. Pretty cool, huh? And we'll drag this one up a little, something not so far, something like that perhaps. Drag this one up a little, something like that, and we'll hit enter, and we'll take all that stitching, and we're just going to put it on, let's see, something bright. Let's put it on this big yellow layer here. What's on my white layer? That picture. Let's delete that. We're already way past that. So there we go. We can kind of see the stitching. And actually, let's maybe not so much. Let's go back and edit, and let's space that out a little, so it's not so close together. And you can play around with that however you want. So we'll just do well, maybe a little bit more, something like that. There you go. There's some stitching for you, and then you can continue on and maybe do this one, that one, that one. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, I guess, but that's how you do the stitching and then the shoestrings, right? Sorry, it was a little more complicated than I believe. I ran into a little bit more situations than I anticipated, but I'll go ahead and do some more stitching on it, and then when we come back to do the rendering, which the rendering I think you'll really find pretty interesting, because we're not going to use MatrixGold rendering. We're actually going to use all Rhino rendering, but that's how you do it. You can put stitching on there and all that, and then you got your shoelaces, and so far so good. So we'll end it here, and again, sorry it took so long. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video. Look forward to you and seeing you in the rendering one. In our last one, that's our texture. We'll have to do texture after that. So we'll end it here, and then we'll do rendering. Well, probably do our texturing and then rendering, I guess. And we'll be back.